Aaron Whitlow from the Mark Out Movie Podcast. I'm here with a real quick review of In Search of Darkness, the 80s horror documentary that spans from 1980 all the way through 89. I finished it the other day, and I just kind of wanted to talk about it, and share my thoughts on it. So, what I liked about it is I liked I liked also I liked the production value, value of it. I think that they did a really good job with the production aspect of it. Um, I think that uh, I like the score. It was done by someone that a buddy of mine knows. So hands up, hats off to that guy. Um, I enjoyed I enjoyed some of the people that they got to interview, and the time that it took to go into it. Now, some people reported that theirs skipped or didn't play through. I like to report that mine had no issues. I got mine from Dead Meat, um, and so it's the Dead Meat one. And I'm interested also to know how others' DVDs are. The ones that's not Dead Meat, say the ones that is I think Corey Taylor one, or uh, my buddy at Good Bad Flicks. He had one that I think he was selling as well. Um, and so I wonder that how those are, you know. Um, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the commentary about like how horror kind of evolved. Um, and I think that the people that they got to interview, Heather Langenkamp, John Carpenter, Kane Hodder, uh, uh, I believe there were so many people, man. Um, Elvira, got to interview her. Joe Bob Briggs, uh, of course. They interviewed just it's just quite bit of people. It's hard to name everyone that's on that. Anyone that's alive that was in horror is in there. Ken Sagos is on there from A Nightmare on M Street, the Dream Warriors. So yeah, it was fun. My biggest letdown though is I think that it could get a little repetitive when it came to like naming some of the like. So they'll show like a clip of dealing with like uh small killers or something like that, so they'll show like uh Chucky, with Child's Play and stuff like that. But then like, and then talk kind of about Child's Play and talk about the impact of Chucky on the horror genre and slasher genre. But then they have a whole nother segment kind of dedicated to Chucky when they get to like when that movie was released. And so it kind of got a little repetitive, it felt like, with things like that. Um, like holiday horror. They talk about, you know, uh Friday 13th, Halloween, of course, things like that. But then like they would go back to them whenever they came up within the timeline from 80 to 89. And there's a bit of it where it got a little like long in the tooth, I would say. But I did enjoy James A. Janice's interjections of the kill count. I don't know if that's on everyone's copy, but I enjoyed that. It kind of broke it up a little bit for me. I enjoyed the him and Chelsea Rebecca talking in their little segments. Um, it felt though that they were kind of cut into them, and I wonder, by having this copy, if I lost some other information from other people that was in the horror community. I wondered that every time they would come in, which, I don't get me wrong, I enjoyed them, but I wondered, by having them cut into the edited into the final product, if they say skipped over someone else that might have had some information, or do they build their content with those pockets to put whoever you copy you choose to put their segments into that little slot. So I don't know, but I did enjoy the DVD. Uh, um, it's something that I'm glad that I have. Have it on my shelf, so it's in a part of my collection. Um, I wish it had some special features. I wish it went into like the making of, or like a documentary, like kind of things that they went through to get this off the ground. So I wish it had a little bit more meat on it. Even if I was to get DVDs today or Blu-rays, I like to have them to at least have some type of commentary track or something. I know that this is a documentary, and ergo it is a complete commentary track. But I just wish it had a little something else to it. But I did overall like it, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it my marks on our mark out meter here at the Mark Out Movie Podcast. So I'm gonna give this film I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5 as far as like the is ambitious. It was a love letter to horror. If you enjoy 80s, especially 80s horror, um, and so it was good for that aspect, and it made you want to see some things that I have never seen. Like I thought I'd seen them all essentially, but there's some stuff that was kind of featured on there. I'm like, oh man, I've never seen that movie, so it kind of makes me want to see that movie. It makes me want to see Motel Hell. It makes me want to see some of these movies that they talked about that I've never seen. But overall, I did enjoy it. The repetitive nature of it sometimes did get a little, but I did like it. I did like the movie though, so the show. Well, that's it for today. If you have any other things that you would like me to review, please don't hesitate to comment down below and ask me to review it, and I definitely will. Also, check us out at the Mark Out Movie Podcast. We are Anchor FM Podcast. Also, we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a lot of different podcasts, Google Podcasts. So we're in a lot of places. So yeah, if you want to support us there. Also, I'm trying to get together a Patreon page. If anybody want to actually show support for us, we'll gladly and gratefully appreciate it. But we thank you for your time, and thank you for listening. And this Friday, we're gonna do a Friday the 13th edition of the podcast. So we're gonna be counting down our worst to our favorite Friday the 13th movies, and we're gonna count all 12 of them, including Freddy vs. Jason. So enjoy that, and we enjoy you. So thank you, and you have a good rest of your day.